Hi, I'm Nanette Giacoma, intuitive guide, author, and transformative artist. I've been making spirit guide masks for well over 25 years, and today I'm going to show you how to make a face mold so that you can make your own mask. I'm going to start by giving you a list of materials that you will need, and then we will proceed and I'll show you how to actually do the process. So first, you're going to need some plaster impregnated gauze. You can get this at Amazon, Dick Blick, Jerry Artsarama, any online art store, and possibly some that are around as well. So you will also need some petroleum jelly. Any brand will do. You need some plastic wrap. Any brand will do. You need a hair tie if you've got long hair. Obviously, I do not have that problem. You will need a large basin for water, and we'll be filling that with warm water. You will want to wear old clothes. You can see that I've got on my art smock. So I wear this whenever I'm doing messy artwork. You may also want to, so you can either you can wear old clothes. It will wash out, but you just want to make sure that you're not wearing anything that you really care too much about. You can also use just a large garbage bag and cut out a hole and put that over your clothes as well. You may want to cover your table and your work areas if you're worried about them getting messy. I'm in my art studio, so I don't care. You can also I've also done this in my bathroom where it's easy for me to clean up, and so that you also have a hands-free mirror. Mine is where you can't see it, but you will want both your hands to do this process. So hands-free mirror is very imperative where you can easily see your face. Let's see. Oh, old pair of scissors, because the plaster will ruin your scissors. So make sure it's a pair of scissors that you don't care about. It will dull them. And I like to have paper towels and a rag or cloth on hand, because it is a drippy, kind of messy process, and I like to wipe my hands. And then finally, I like to have some kind of a washcloth so that at the end I can wipe my face afterwards. So that's it for the materials list, and I will be coming right back on with the process. So here we are, ready to begin the process. And just a reminder to make sure that you have your clothes on, that you don't mind getting dirty. Make sure your area is covered if that's what you want to do. Have your hands-free mirror, a basin full of warm water, because warm water feels so much better on your face than cold water. And so if you need to, go ahead and pull back your hair with your hair tie. Again, that is not an issue for me. So, and next I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my plastic wrap. Okay, and I'm going to get a nice long piece. Probably I get a couple of, 2-3 feet, because I make it easy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my hair out of my face, and I'm going to take it and wrap it around my head and my ears like a bandana. And if it folds up a little bit, it's really not an issue. The biggest thing is to cover your hair, your ears, that kind of stuff, so that it's not getting full of plaster. So I'm going to pull that down around my ears, make sure all my hair is tucked up under that, that it's nice and smooth. Tuck my hair up under there. It's nice and smooth on my forehead. I'm going to tuck it around my ears, like that, and tie it in a knot. Okay, there we go. Okay, and if you've got little baby hairs, tuck those all up under and all of that as well. So now comes the next fun process, which is the first messy process that you will deal with, and that is putting petroleum jelly all over your face, right? Just pretend it's a facial. So go ahead and just start smoothing that over your face. Also under your chin a bit, because we will be putting this under our chin. Okay. Put it up on your forehead. You're going to put it up, up over the plastic wrap a little bit. Not that we're too worried about it sticking to the plastic, your plaster sticking to the plastic. Down around your forehead, down those grooves of the nose, around the eyes, over your mouth. If you got any little hairs, around your lips or whatever, make sure those are well covered. And then we're going to make sure that our eyebrows are well covered, because, we don't want that sticking. We're going to put it over our eyes and make sure that our eyelashes are well covered. Because again, we don't want to, you don't want to get it in your eyes, but, just, definitely well covered around your eyes and your eyelashes, because we don't want those to get pulled out, do we? That's no fun. So now that we're all greased up, and see, this is where I use my towel. The next thing we're going to do is open the package of plaster of Paris strips. It'll look like this. Okay. And I start out by cutting about a 1 foot strip. Actually, I'm going to cut 2 1 strip. Okay. And I will be dipping those in the water. Dip them. And then I am going to make sure that I am activating the plaster. And you can tell because it kind of pops up a little bit. And once that's done, I'm going to start by putting it around my jaw. And I'm just going to make sure that, I've got it somewhat. You can move it around a little bit, get it where you position it where you want it. Get it down around your jaw, nice and smooth. I'm going to take my other strip that I made. Do the same process, activate it. And then I'm going to put that over the top of my head. Just making sure that it's on the plastic wrap. So the reason I do this so far back is because it makes it easier to mount later on. Okay. And then I just continue by cutting, smaller strips, sometimes like in squares, doing the same process of activating. And then I'm just going to go ahead and overlap it with what I've already got and create, I got a little dangly thing right there, start creating this mask. So we're not going to cover our eyes right now because we will need those through the rest of this process. But we're going to do our best to cover everything else. And just, just like I said, as you go along, just smooth it out. You can cut bigger pieces or smaller pieces, whatever you're comfortable with or whatever fits your face. Get it as close to your eyes without covering your eyes. At this moment, we will cover the eyes, but not yet. Or you don't have to if you don't want to, but I like to. And you'll notice that I'm not putting it on my nose yet because I have another way. I'll show you that I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to cover my mouth right this second because, of course, I'm talking. But I am going to have to do that in a minute, and then I'll continue to show. What I do for the nose is I cut a small kind of strip, and I put it down the center of my nose. Okay, like so. And I cut another, smaller strip and put it between my nose, tucking it up and around. And of course, you do not want to cover your nostrils because, yeah, we like to breathe. Breathing's important. And then the last thing I do is I cut a triangle for the nose. And I put the shorter edge up here towards the top and bring that down around my nose. Again, we do not want to cover the nostrils. You can always move things around if they're not fitting quite right, which, there we go. And, just spend some time tucking it up under the, around the nostrils and all of that. And, if something doesn't quite go the way you want it, just take it off and do it again, because guess what? It's not a big deal. You can totally take it off and do another one. So, okay. And I'm just going to continue doing this, showing you how to do this. And as I cover my mouth, it will be done just the same way that you've been doing all the others. So we'll just make sure that we're maybe, using our fingernails or fingers to really mold around the mouth and get a little bit of definition and help that, that'll help with the overall look of the mask and just really make it look more like your face. So we'll continue doing that for a few minutes until that is complete. And once you have the first layer done, then you can start on the second layer, because we want to make sure that there's a really nice sturdy mask. And so you just basically go over and do the same thing that you did on the first layer. The first layer does not have to be dry, and do the second layer. And if you find any little holes that you've missed, then you can also cover those up with the second layer. But this will give a nice sturdy mask. And again, use your fingers and your fingernails and all that to really get some definition so that the mask looks more like you. And that's always really nice once you start embellishing it later. So the last piece that you will do now that you've got a double layer on the rest of your mask is to cover your eyes. And I would go ahead and cut, 3 or 4 pieces of plaster impregnated gauze to put over your eyes so that you don't have to do that while you're while you can't see, right? So go ahead and do that, and then it's just like the rest of the process. You take and dip it in the water, activate the plaster, and cover one eye. And you're going to do a double layer on that eye so that you still have one eye to see. And tuck it in, use your fingernails, use your fingers, get some nice definition around your eye without poking yourself in the eye. And then you will do the same thing. I would make sure that your last piece of plaster impregnated gauze is nearby, easy to reach, so that you don't have to look for it while you can't see. So, do one eye, and then you'll do the other eye, and then you will put a second layer over the second eye. And yes, you can do this. I know it feels a little weird doing it without seeing, but it will be great. You will enjoy it. And then we'll do the very last piece of the mask making process. So the last piece of the mask making process is the waiting for the mask to dry. And it will take 5 to 10 minutes depending on the weather. And so you just have to be patient, which is I'm not always feeling patient, but it's a great opportunity to perhaps do some breathing, do a little meditation, and just try to allow yourself to be with the process. So here we are. You are now a mask maker. And I will be doing some additional videos to show you how, what you can do to work with your mask from here. And so I'll be doing those on some subsequent videos. So I hope that you enjoyed this. You can always get in touch with me. You can look at my website, see some of the masks that I've made, nanettegiacoma.com, and you have a beautiful day.